Hello travelers, this is Jack here. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what I've learned about using SIM cards in Thailand. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on the subject, and I'm still learning as we go. I thought I'd share a few insights that picked up along the way. All right. In fact, it's so confusing. There's so many choices here that I pretty much went nuts. All right, I just want to crack open coconuts after a while. But let's see if we can make this a bit easier, and I was trying to think of another name that we can use, and maybe we can call this a SIM card boot camp, uh, and try to make sense of the SIM cards. And we can also call it what would I do without 7-Eleven? All right, this is where you can buy a lot of the SIM cards that are available in Thailand. And so where to find a SIM card? Well, you can find that at 7-Eleven, cell phone shops, or actually the cell phone carrier stores. Okay, all have SIM cards, and it's not too important in terms of which package you get on the SIM card, because the SIM card itself will come with a variety of packages, number of minutes, and so forth. It doesn't really matter because you can change that later. All right, so find the cheapest one. We actually got a couple of free ones from the airport. Okay, and here are the major carriers. There's AIS, there's DTAC, there's TrueMove. You might see other brand names like Happy and One2Call, which belong to DTAC and AIS respectively. And I'm sure there are many more that I'm not finding out yet. Okay, so these are the major ones that I've know of. Okay, all right. So picking the right SIM card, you got to make sure that your phone will work when you put in the SIM card. So my suggestion, and I talked about this in my first video, is to go to Mobile World Live, pick the country you're traveling to. In our case, it's Thailand, and you see a listing of the various cell phone carriers and which frequencies it uses. Right now, if you have a quad band phone, then that's not a problem. I would recommend going to gsmarena.com and plug in your phone, and you'll see some specs. So in this case, I have a Nokia N82. You can see the 2G network covers all 4 frequencies, so no matter which SIM card I purchase in Thailand, it should work on that phone, or it will work on that phone. Some older phones or cheaper phones may be dual band, may have 2 frequencies, so make sure that you know what those numbers are before you buy a SIM card. Otherwise, you'll just have a dead phone in a way. Okay, and here's a close-up view of the 4 frequencies, and you can see that the 1800 frequency, we're using TrueMove right now, matches up with one of the frequencies from the phone. All right, number 2, this is something that took a while for me to learn, was that when you insert a SIM card into your phone, and a lot of people think, well, it's easy enough. Whenever I run out of minutes, or bots in this case, I just go to a 7-Eleven and top it off, and I'll be fine, right? But little will you realize that over time, your expiration date gets shorter and shorter. So let's say you put in 100 baht, and during the first month it says, okay, that'll be good for 2 weeks. And the next time you fill it up for 100 bahts, it may say it's going to expire in 3 days, right? So every SIM card actually has 2 levels or 2 expiration dates. Let's call one of them the validity date for the actual SIM card. Okay, just because your SIM card expires doesn't mean that you lose the money that you still have on it. Just activate it again and the credits are there. Okay, so it's important that you sign up for a promotion because you get a better deal. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with the 1.25 baht per minute and 3 bahts per text message for almost all SIM cards. Okay, that's sort of the standard rate. But then again, you have to sort of keep topping it off and paying the same rate over and over again. If you're staying here for longer than a week, I would really recommend that you sign up for a promotion rather than just topping it off at a 7-Eleven. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how to do that. And also, for TrueMove, there's a 4-digit number that you can dial, and you pay 3 bahts, and it creates an extended validity date for 30 days at a time. So you don't have to worry about your phone just dying, even though you still have money on it, right? So I call that the keep your phone alive number, and every carrier should have that number. But it's not posted clearly anywhere. So one way I found out was by going to the live chat feature online at the website. I talked to a service rep and asked them about why is my phone only have 3 days of validity left. He said, oh, just dial this number, pay 3 bahts, and you'll have 30 days at a time. And you can keep doing that for about 12 times a year, obviously. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what these promotions are. And this is the magic word in Thailand, I've learned. Even when you go to the street markets and you're asking for a discount, just say the word promotion. And you'll see the word promotion everywhere. It's sort of their universal word for sale or discount. Okay, so promotion, promotion. Okay, and here are the various promotions that are basically will change monthly for every carrier. So just go online and look. It may seem overwhelming at first, but at first you'll see something called a buffet, right? So it's a very unique use of the term, but it basically means that you get a discounted rate when you're calling to someone within your network. So we use TrueMove. So if I call a fellow TrueMove person and I sign up for a buffet, I can get unlimited calls, either during the daytime or during the nighttime or during 24 hours. It all depends. So there's just numerous number of choices here. But the downside is that when you call people outside of your network, it might be slightly higher. So if you're a student and you're coming here with a bunch of other students, you should all just get the same company's SIM card and get one of these buffets, and you all will save a lot of money. Okay. All right. Now another kind, in terms of I'm giving these examples from TrueMove's website. You'll see some hot promotions. So these will change every month, and every promotion lasts about 30 days or so. Okay. So when it ends, just go online. And the way you sign up for it is that you build up. You go to 7-Eleven, you top off your card, put a few hundred bahts in there. And then the amount that you'll pay for these promotions will be deducted from that credit, okay? And a lot of times you can just send a text message to sign up for it or dial a 4-digit number like you see here, okay? And so there's lots of variety. For example, again for TrueMove, and I'm not endorsing TrueMove in terms of it being better, it just happened to be what we used because we got free SIM cards from the airport that were TrueMove SIM cards. All right, for example, 25 stang, which is a quarter baht, you can call, that will last for the first minute. This is called a short call feature. So this is amazing. If you know you only make short calls, less than a minute or two, then you come out ahead but if your phone call lasts 5 minutes or more, then you're paying about the same as the regular rate. So for someone who just needs to get in touch with someone and say, hey, let's meet up over here, if that makes up your majority of calls, then I would sign up for this kind of feature where the first minute is much less than the 1.25 or 1.5 baht per minute. I think this is a pretty good deal. So within the network is 25 stang. If you dial someone else, is 75 stang. That's still less than a baht. But what if you have long conversations? Well, then also if you're worried about this validity date, then here's another plan where you just sign up for it and automatically you get 12 months for a validity date. Call anyone in your network for 75 stang per minute, but everybody else you're a little bit higher, 2 baht per minute. All right, so it all depends. I mean, on what you're looking for. So there are so many choices. This one comes from DTAC, and again, you can kind of see that there are many choices here. There's a buffet. There's a daytime and a nighttime buffet kind of thing, and it always makes me giggle when I think of the word buffet used in this context. Well, what about text message and web? Well, that was only for voice that we talked about earlier. And on every website, you should look separately for data packages, right? Now, you'll see 3G being mentioned, but there really is no 3G network as of yet for cell phones. But you'll be using the Edge network for your cell phone for internet access. So if you're tethering your phone to a laptop, the internet speed is going to be pretty slow compared to Wi-Fi. But again, there are a variety of packages, so many choices based on how many minutes you want to use per week or per day or per month, or based on the download packages, like how many megabytes will you use in a given month. There's so much to choose from. At first, it's kind of mind-boggling, but I kind of like it because it gives you choices. There are very good text messaging packages. SMS is a regular text message. MMS is a text message where you can attach photos and files, for example, or photos and videos. And so, again, look in your particular carrier's website for what those rates are. For example, with TrueMove, I can sign up for a week's worth of text messages, 10 baht for 10 messages, so it's 1 baht per message. The standard rate is 3 bahts per message sent. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. In most parts of the world, other than the US, when you send a text message, you're only being charged when you send, not receive. That goes for phone calls, too. So I love getting phone calls because I know that's free. It doesn't go toward it doesn't take any money out of my account. So receiving calls are free. That's not the case in the US. When you have a bundle for 700 minutes, it doesn't matter if someone calls you or you call someone else. So this only applies to when you generate the conversation, okay, which I think is kind of cool. So one, you can even get a larger package, maybe 50 bots, which is about $1.50, $1.60, and that'll give you about 75 or 80 text messages. So it's less than one bot per message. That's pretty cool. All right, so there are so many choices. Obviously, I mean it's kind of confusing, but what I ask you to do is just be patient, and you can find a really good deal. And again, if you're coming with a group, get the same company SIM cards. When you call each other, it is a lot cheaper. And make sure you extend that validity date as well. Okay, so let's wrap up. The very first step, of course, get a SIM card almost anywhere. And again, don't worry about buying an expensive SIM card. You can just buy a simple one. Or even get a free one from the airport. Just make sure the company SIM card matches your phone's frequencies. Okay. Hi. And then make sure you extend your SIM validity date. Okay. And number 3, make sure you sign up for a promotion. Especially if you're traveling in Thailand for more than a week, I think that's really worthwhile to do the research and pick a good plan for yourself. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for viewing. I did this recording at Thai Freedom House in Chiang Mai, and you can find us at gotpassport.org or on Twitter as well as Facebook. When Team Chiang Mai is where a bunch of us here living in Chiang Mai or passing through basically have a lot of social events. Okay. Thanks.